Welcome to the Running Network Show. Join us each time as we explore the people, the places, and the events that shape our great sport.
Good morning. This is Larry Eder with the Running Network.
And I'm Kevin Hanson from Hanson's Brooks Distance Project.
And we're going to take a few minutes and talk about the Bank of America Chicago Marathon in particular and fall marathons in general. What do you think of the excitement this weekend?
Chicago, I can't even say this weekend, although, there is all that excitement this weekend, but Chicago, I feel that every time. It's funny because I feel that when I come into Chicago now, even when it's not marathon weekend, because the buzz is so good this weekend that it carries out every time I come into the city. It makes me think of marathon again.
Do you think it's unique that the way they combine the elite part of the race and also can take care of 44,000 citizen runners too?
It's incredible. Because I own running stores in Detroit area, the one thing that happens is that we see all levels. Although I work with the elite runners, we see all different level runners all the time, and we hear their experiences. And honestly, there's a reason that this sells out so quickly. People want to be in Chicago, and it has to do with Kerry Pinkowski and the leadership that's here, and now thanks to Bank of America and things. But it really does. They send out birthday cards to all these people that are here. They send out. Yeah. It's just their follow-up is unbelievable. It really is here. They make everybody feel elite, not just the elites.
What do you think of the course? Do you think it's a fast course? Do you think it's, it's obviously a good course for citizen runners. Is it a fast, and they've had so many world records on it and so many of the top 100 times. Yeah. I was just looking at that list last night. Is it the competition? Is it the course? Is it a combination of the competition course? Okay.
Yes, absolutely. That was going to be my answer there before you gave me combination as a possibility there. I think basically Kerry's very smart about putting together the right group of fast people. You can get a group of elite runners together, but often if it doesn't work out, if it's not the right combination, and we've seen that sometimes where we've been disappointed, where we said, oh my gosh, they have this great field put together at so-and-so marathon, and the field went out in 1:08 or something. Sure. At the halfway point, you go, well, what happened? Why did that happen? And it was, but here they have such incentives to run fast in addition to winning that I think it forces the situation.
It seems that there's so many details involved in putting on, a major race. I recall about a decade ago watching Kerry out at 3 o'clock in the morning checking the blue line. And we've all seen pictures of the late Fred LeBeau like that, and I think that's what major race directors have to do around the world. It's attention to detail.
Absolutely. I don't think, some people say, well, boy, this week Kerry doesn't sleep or whatever. I don't think they sleep all year. I don't think it's just this week. Those Kerry and Mary Wittenberg and those people, it's non-stop for them because, and their energy levels are always seem to be that high. So it's, they never get the shoo effect that I think we as coaches and everything else do. You get past an event and you often go shoo and kind of regroup and so on and so forth. For them, this event will stop and they will be. I shouldn't even say they'll start thinking about next year. They're probably already putting things in place for next year, or the year after. So it's just that's the way they work.
Last weekend I was at the San Jose Half, and I was talking to a couple of the organizers. And one of the things that a lot of race directors are telling me right now is they're worried about how the economy is going to affect running. And I told them that my thought process was that you may not see as many people flying in, but you'll see people driving from farther and farther away, especially with gas coming down, because running is one of the few things we can control in our lives. A pair of running shoes at $150 is a lot less expensive than shrinks every week, or bypass surgery. So I think those are some of the things that will keep the sport strong. You have any thoughts in that direction?
Absolutely. We have not, and we've seen the decline in economy in our area because from the Detroit area, sure, prior to other people. I don't even want to look today. Yesterday, GM dropped 33%. I don't even want to see because so much is predicated on the auto industry where we're at. But the truth of the matter is, throughout all of this, our business in the stores has not been down. I'm sure that some of the health clubs and things like that lose business, but they just change where they're going to do the activity. They don't change doing the activity. And sometimes in stressful times, we all know that many of us do this activity as a stress release. I mean, not the elites that we were talking about before. They're doing it, that's their career. Yeah. But they're professionals. But for you and I and many others, this is, I always say I solve most of the world problems out there on an hour run, because it's to yourself, there's no phones, you're not bothered by anything. And so that time becomes more important when economy is stressful. When things are stressful, we need more opportunities for stress release. So I don't really see it in our business, although it doesn't mean that I'm not compassionate for those that are feeling it.
Okay, finally, you got any last-minute tips, things people should not do on the weekend before a major marathon?
Well, yeah. There's a lot of things. They should not do anything that they haven't practiced in the previous 12 weeks or so. Nothing. There is no surprises. No, you don't go out and that's everything from even flavors of Gatorade. You don't change anything like that. You don't change the socks you're wearing. You don't change the uniform you're wearing. If you bought something at Expo, you can work on that next week, but that shouldn't be something we see out there in the race tomorrow. The other thing that I would say is that I think so often, because we train for 3-4 months for one thing, we have a set goal, and I think we saw this, we've seen this in other marathons last year here when it was a little warmer and things, is that people need to alter their goals based upon what the weather conditions and what things are that morning. So if we show up and it's 10 degrees warmer, I understand that you work for 3 or 4 months and want to run that X time. You need to go X plus 10 or whatever it is. You need to really refigure your goals based upon the weather conditions and not pretend that we're in a vacuum, because we're not.
See, that's one of the big things. I remember in the 76 trials at the marathon, a guy told me the story about how most of the field got a brand new pair of shoes, and half the runners in the field wore new shoes. These were elite runners.
Yeah, right.
And the rate of attrition was huge. And it's just one of those lessons that, we all get excited about a new pair of shoes. We all get excited. And it's not to say don't get a new pair of shoes, but don't do it the marathon weekend.
Absolutely. We see that in and it can be even the same pair of shoes that you had, a newer version, because there's always two things that need to get accustomed. One is that you need to get accustomed to the shoes, but the others is that the shoes need to get accustomed to you. And so that hasn't happened with that shoe. So there might be a seam thing that's slightly different. We see it all the time, and that's not a knock on any of the shoes. The shoes are very well made, but at the same time, every shoe is not identical, and there's a little break-in period no matter what. And so, bad idea.
So our last message of the day is run smart. Think before you do something goofy on a marathon weekend. For the Hanson's Brook Running Project and for the Running Network, I'm Larry Eder. Thanks again.
Thank you.
That's all right.